Hello and welcome to Horizon Worlds. Let's go. This is the tag manager. I'm so excited about it because I think it can be so helpful and make managing a game so much easier. So down here is the script, and the idea behind it is, say you have multiple managers. Say for me, I have an interaction controller that I want to be able to talk to an audio manager. I have a slot manager that I want to talk to a save manager. And every time I want to send events, I need to identify the object or the entity that I'm sending the event to. So this is a great way of consolidating all of that and making it easier to make those references. The tag manager script is just a script. It does not need to live on an object. So that's one first thing to know. And then the next is each one of the objects, each one of the managers needs to have a unique game tag on it. So here I have interaction controller. Notice that the control is shortened. Here I have slot manager. I have a slot space manager. Here I have audio manager, and there's no space. So each of these are unique. It would be helpful to have some sort of standard that you go by, but if you don't have one, it's just important to know that you're getting the tag right. Then, if you are in Tag Manager, well, let's go into it. So first off, I need to export a type tag inventory, and it's just going to be a type of map where the key is going to be a string, and the string is going to be whatever the tag type is, and then the entity is going to be whatever the entity that the manager it is that we're actually trying to store. The next part is an enumerator that we're going to call tag type. And this is just going to make it more consistent and make the references to all of these tags, more consistent. So here is, here's where I have slot space manager. Here's where I have interaction control, where it's shortened, audio manager, no space. It's just important that you have the tags right on this side, but over here, this is going to be what kind of auto populates when you search for tag type. Anytime you have a new object, just give it a new tag and then put it in here. Um, the last part is a little bit of the magic. We are exporting a function, and this function builds the map. It's going to populate the map. And so it searches through the tag types, it goes through each one of these, and it identifies whether first it exists, so it needs to find it uses that tag to search throughout the world for an object with that. So if you have multiple objects with that tag, it's going to return the first one and only the first one because of this zero index. You should really only have one tag per manager that you're dealing with. Um, but it's going to populate it with first the tag for the string, and then it's going to populate it with the entity that it finds via a tag in its entity slot. It will then return that tag inventory. So let's take a look at this actually in process. First, you need to make sure that you import the actual tag manager stuff that you need. So we're going to need the build tag inventory, and the tag type. Then we have the variable. We are going to just call it tag inventory for consistency's sake. And then we are defining it as the type tag inventory, which is a map. Then we actually need to populate it. So within the start method, we are going to call this dot tag inventory, and then we are going to call build tag inventory. We're going to feed in this world because that's how it finds all the different tags. And at that point, it's populated. It found all of them. And then say down here, this is my interaction controller. So I needed to communicate with the audio manager. So here I'm just calling within the send network event, this dot tag inventory dot get the tag type of audio manager. And once you start typing tag type and you hit the dot, it suddenly auto populates with all of your options. So I could send it to the save manager. I could send it to the slot manager. Here I need to send it to the audio manager. So let's go ahead and save that. And then, make sure that you have the exclamation point because we know that it's there. If it weren't there, we would actually get a console error from this console error. That is it. So, for example, in my slot manager, I actually am finding all of my managers like this. I have to define them all up here, and then I need to find them in the world, and then wherever they are in the script, then that's, where I'm using that. But I don't need this anymore, actually. All I need to do is first make sure that my tag inventory is here, and then I need to build it. So this dot tag inventory, it's auto populating it for me, but or auto filling it out, and it's building that tag inventory. And then anywhere that it would be using the audio manager. So actually, let's comment this part out so that we can see all the errors that result. So instead of the Minimon texture reference, we can say tag inventory dot get tag type Minimon texture reference. Here we have the UI payout. We can now use the tag inventory dot get the UI payout. Same thing with this game overlay, this pop-up manager, and just like that, it's all referencing just this tag inventory. Isn't that helpful? So I hope it's helpful for you too. And I'll check you later.